1878, The Muybridge Loop, the first ever piece of film. Shot by Edward Muybridge, created to settle a bet. The theme of betting continued throughout the history of horse racing, arriving at what is currently a £4.3 million betting industry. National Hunt horse racing, over 260 years old. Headlined by the Cheltenham Gold Cup and the Grand National. Over the last 2 years, Tiger Roll has made history, winning the Grand National twice in a row, a feat only matched by legendary horse Red Rum in the 1970s.
Final 100 yards, Pleasant Company's gaining ground, Tiger Roll seeing it out, Tiger Roll, maybe just from Pleasant Company at the line, then Bless the Wings and Anna will fly third and fourth. He's going to do it again, following in the hoofprints of Red Rum, Tiger Roll has won his second Grand National, pure magic.
But behind the gambling and exuberance of the Cheltenham Gold Cup and the Grand National, there are small towns like Summerhill in Ireland, where National Hunt horse racing is a family affair.
So do you ride the horses yourself sometimes?
No, Louise rides.
Louise rides them. Have you ever ridden?
Speaking to Jimmy McGee, a horse breeder, he explained how horse racing became a key part of his life.
Look, here, the lucky years ago when it started, it was a fad, you know what I mean? Everyone round the place was buying mares and had horses and everything like that. Now, I'd always had interest in horses, and with Louise involved with the horses as well, and we had the pony here, it didn't. Well, you know, there's other lads' friends that are involved with here, always had these mares and foals and breeding mares and seemed to be doing well, so I just thought maybe I'd have a go at it as well. But it didn't turn out now, you know. Financially, it wasn't successful for me any, you know.
But what would you prefer to do then, horses or cows? What do you find easier?
Cows cattle are easier. Not as expensive, or have a chance of making a few pounds out of them, but the horses just gobble up money.
I just bred the foals and sold them on then, you know what I mean? So a very little involvement, just a bit now. I have a filly there at the moment now, and she wasn't racing last year, and she didn't do that well, so we took her out and give her a break and that, and she's come back in again now, maybe this week or next week, you know. Yeah, well, you know what I mean. You look at the breeding is about the breed of the horse, whether is the big issue, the big thing. The first fellas wouldn't something we can go and look at the horse. Is to look at the page and what the breed is like and what it won and what its family history has done, you know what I mean? That's the main thing. And then after, if they're happy with that, they might go and look at the horse and how it walks and how it stands up. And a walk with a horse is very important, you know what I mean? But there again, you get some horses then that just make you like total layer out of you. You know, they might be the most awkward, and you know, horses are very finicky and they're so light boned, they can have twisted legs and everything like that. And the half fellas wouldn't buy them, but then you could get a lad and he'd have the twisted legs and everything wrong on him, and he'd run better than any of the rest of them. So you know what I mean? They just.
It's all about the size, you know, they must have good big strong size to them and scope, and you know, she's a good big wide chest and great height about her, and she's good legs, you know, good strong legs to her. It's kind of what you're looking for, and good movement, good walk, good trot.
Jimmy's daughter Louise Dunn is also deeply embedded in horse racing and works for world-class trainer Gordon Elliott.
The standout moment for me in involving the horses is when my daughter Louise, you know, she involved Gordon Elliott, right? And the Tiger, Don Cossey was the first big horse that she led up to won the Gold Cup. When she came back to Summerhill with him, walked around the main street of Summerhill, that to me was the ultimate, you know. But she's had great success and with great days from that end of it, guys, you know. I had no glory days as a breeder now with any of the foals I bred. You know, there was none of them was outstanding moments to me, you know.
Would you be worried about future generations getting into horse racing?
Not really, no.
You think they're all going to get into it anyway?
The horses will go on, you know. Yeah. horses, there'll always be people and generations of families will always stay in them, you know. I'd say the first or the second time I met your dad here, and that first mare I bought, that Albert brought, that was the very first mare I bought, and he was here in the springtime, and she was after foaling, and she was in the sand arena there at the side of the house, at the side of the lane. You know the sand arena is there at the side of the lane. She was there with the foal, and your dad came over to look at her, you know what I mean. He was actually, he was a bit gall about it and everything like that, and I didn't know he had as much interest in the horses as he did, you know. But every time he come back, he used to be watching the foal. Now I sold it off. He never probably seen it again after that, you know. But he, you know, he knew the mare's name and that, and he'd be able to look up on the website and that and follow the chain. But it was sold in England. But the strangest thing about it, the whole lot, on the Sunday, your father died, and it was running. I forget where in England. I used to remember where in England it was running. And I'd say within the space of a half an hour, and I don't know which way it was, your father died, and the horse was after winning the race. Which I thought was very strange, you know what I mean? It was just incredible, because Paul rang me, and I had the phone in my hand to ring him to tell him about the horse was going to ring, and the next thing the phone rang, and Paul rang me to tell me your dad was dead. And I said, Paul, will you believe the filly in England that he was looking after? I can't think of your dad's name now. Jim, yeah. The Jim used to be following all the time in England, so she's after winning the race in England, you know.
It's one of the things.
Just, I had the phone in my hand to ring Paul, she was after ringing, and the next thing the phone rang to tell me that Jim had died. But just, it's incredible.
One of the things.
Yeah, it was amazing, you know.
You've got to be interested in it, you know. Some people like football, some people like golf. For me personally, I tried golf, I had no interest in it. So my hobby is horse racing, and I really love it. And I love the buzz of being there. Not a very heavy gambler, believe you me. The heaviest, the biggest bet I'd have would be €5 on a horse. And you get as much thrill out of that as having 100 on. If it wins, it wins. If it loses, it loses, you know.
Also living in Summerhill is racehorse owner Benny O'Keefe, who's founder and member of the Weeping Ash Syndicate.
Well, Hatton's, as it is known now, is Hatton's Bistro, right? But in the older days, it was known as the Weeping Ash. That was our local pub, right? And unfortunately, the owner, Jimmy, died a very young man in his late 50s. And I often sat and thought about, you know, how can we remember him? So I decided I'd come up with this, get a few of the locals together, and we'd form a racing syndicate. And we call it the Weeping Ash Racing Syndicate. You don't make money out of horse racing, believe you me. It's the expenses is unbelievable. We're not going to be flying to Mallorca 2 times a year that on the strength of horse racing anyway.
World-class trainer Gordon Elliott begun training horses in 2005. His first major success came in 2007 with his first Grand National win with horse Silver Birch. Gordon's stable is also home to the 2-time Grand National winner Tiger Roll, a feat only matched by the legendary horse Red Rum in the 70s. Gordon Elliott's stable in Longwood, County Meath is home to nearly 200 horses, and this year alone has had 109 winners and counting. And what are you sort of looking for when they parade round towards you and Gordon?
When they be after trotting like that, they be just checking that the boys would know that they're all sound, you know, none of them are laying right. And then they'll go out and canter now in a few minutes. And then some of them will canter again, and some of them that are fit enough will go home. They'll probably do 2 the first time, and then some of them will do 2 again, and some of them will go home. Same again, it depends on what they've been doing or how fit they are.
And you and Gordon are here every day?
You'll be here every day, yeah.
Every day?
Yeah. Sunday, they don't ride out on a Sunday.
Oh, they get us out then?
Yeah. Unless if they were running...
On the Saturday?
If they were running, say this Sunday, if they're running on Wednesday or Thursday, yeah, they'd ride out then, but if they weren't, they'd have a day off. Like.
How do you feel about everyone sort of calling you one of the best trainers in the world at the moment in horse racing?
Listen, I think this game you're judging your last winner, so if you take your foot off the pedal and think you stop making mistakes, you should give it up. So we got to keep trying and keep going forward.
Would you give any special treatment, say for example Tiger Roll, or all equal to everyone?
Every horse is the same.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Everyone at the yard wants to see Tiger Roll. He's a household name now, and we're very, very lucky to have him.
How did you go about getting him? Was it just by chance, or?
He bought at sales and he came, but we never believed he was going to be a Grand National horse, and they're normally the ones that work out the best.
Gordon asks all his riders how the horses have trained, key to him understanding the horse and how it may perform.
He ran last week.
Oh yeah, I
Another easy day out.
Recent revelations. Yeah, grand.
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He is, yeah. Fresh. Seen the hill there, he just fucking tanked it.
The horse then go for a pool to relax their muscles before heading to the showers for their daily wash.
Tiger Roll's first Grand National, Tiger Roll second.
How many trophies would you say you've gotten?
Honestly, I wouldn't have a clue. These are only the bigger races, you know.
Right, you keep all the important
all
ones.
the bigger ones are here.
Who do you normally let get the trainers' trophies?
Listen, we have them in another room there somewhere.
How do you think Tiger Roll's going to do in this national?
He's in good form, but the national's a bit away. He's going to have a lot of weight. It's not going to be to do it 3 times, but he's done it twice. We're getting back to Cheltenham. Buses here gets on the Cheltenham Festival.
It would be an absolute wonderful achievement. I would love it for Gordon, I would love it for all the owners, for Davy Russell, for everybody that's involved, and especially for the local people around Summerhill and Hattons and Garradice and all that. It would be a wonderful achievement, and I wish Gordon the best of luck and hope it works out for him.
What do you think his chances for the national this year, the English national? Do you think he's going to win?
In my opinion, I don't think he will make it. Ask me honest. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know.
Why is that?
I just don't. Takes a lot out of a horse. Look at time will tell. He takes a lot out of a horse. Will he get the Cheltenham? Will he? You know what I mean? It depends now. You know, very hard to say. It'd be unbelievable if he ever went back and won it. Just can't see it. But if he gets that, I'll still have the €30.
As I say, racing to me is, they call it the sport of kings, but it's the sport for anybody if you're interested.